Hey kids, it's Arp. This is the ArpCast, somewhat live from the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains in eastern Tennessee. Today we talk about different things, weird people, and maybe unicorns and rainbows. We read poetry and short stories too. Most of all, we keep it real. This is the ArpCast, starting now.
ArpCast number 50, February 9, 2018, in the heart of Tennessee, tucked away in the studio of our dreams. We're going to kick it back up. I love this music. Yeah, big number 50. Is it a midlife crisis? No, this is good stuff. Milestones are wonderful. Since October, we've been putting them out there for you. It's a good place to be. It's a good place to express what I believe in, what I think is important. The ArpCast. Wow, 50 shows, 50 ArpCasts. It's a good place. So, looking for subscriber number 30 on YouTube. Look, the business doesn't end. This doesn't just go away. Doesn't stop. We still gotta have listeners. I mean, that's just business. And now, for the first time, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. That's right. Come take a bite. Take a nibble on the apple. Do it. Go ahead. Subscribe there. It's easy. You can download us now. It's going to be in video format, but we're out there on iTunes or podcast or whatever it's called. I think it's on the podcast app. Get us. So this is a show of gratitude. You strip it all away, folks. Pull it all down, naked. Nothing. The production, the craziness, the hostile jokes, and the mediocre singing, and most of all the monkeys. You take all that away, and it comes down to you. Thank you. So this is a show of gratitude. It's kind of a list show, but I thought it was important that number 50, this milestone, be a show of gratitude. To my brother, one-of-a-kind kid. And he's not a kid anymore. But he will always be a kid to me. And I guess, my parents say that to me, and my grandmother says it to me. You'll always be this little, and I'm not. And he's not, but he is just one of a kind. Cheers, little brother. Cheers. To my good friend, Mr. Fulmer. Cheers to you, sir. Salute. Speak from the heart, he said. Don't write it all down. Don't script it. Don't get, it just feels stilted. And best advice ever. So thank you, Dwayne. To my colleague and fellow PM, Wrong Way Jay. That's right, Jay Iser. Cheers, lad, for putting up with my antics, trusting in my Odd Fellows version of leadership. Thank you so very much. To Woodard and Company, our volunteer PR firm. I tell you, man, she is out there pushing. She's a pusher. Getting this stuff out there, talking to people. Hey, this is how you find it, and this is where you can click, and so forth and so on. Could not do it without folks like Woodard. Thank you. Cheers to you. To our youngest follower, Master Chase. That's right. We got some young folks listening to the program. And he's from what I can tell anyway, he's the youngest. And I appreciate that. So this is, we're trying to do this to be funny, and we're trying to do this to be civil and show that. But what would really be a great legacy if somebody that can and will be influenced in the right way, hopefully by something I've said. I'm not trying to say anything that's bad or derogatory. There's funny stuff and crude stuff on here, but I hope that is a lasting effect of the show. So hats off to you, young man. Thank you for listening. to the virtual mentioned in passing guests. You know, you've heard them from time to time. And of course, our producer here, Bob. Thank you, Bob. But you've heard these names. I've had little, whatever scribblings or mentions of these folks. So Messrs. Oliver and Young and Dr. Webb, your gifts are innumerable, unmeasurable. The quantum of those gifts, I cannot begin to thank you enough for allowing me to mention you, read your stuff, and the like on the show. It just goes beyond. I truly appreciate it. Cheers to you. To the many, many colleagues that have made the ArpCast part of the vernacular now. It's weird. And did I ever think I would get to 50 shows? Didn't think I would get to 5. I thought I would give up. Oh, no one's going to listen. And I guess in the scheme of things, in the big digital world and digital media and all that good stuff, there aren't a lot of people listening, but we'll get there. Because if you love what you do, it's just a matter. People will gravitate. People will come to you to listen. I sought out people my whole life. We've talked about Dr. Covey for the longest time. Anyway, it's part of, the ArpCast. Oh yeah, listen to the ArpCast. Maybe you ought to do this on the ArpCast. That'd be good for the ArpCast. It's a tremendous. It's kind of interesting to watch, just observational interplay with folks, and how interesting they find the entire thing. I'm sure it's a bit oddball, but these folks, and I'm not going to mention them completely by name. I'm not trying to mix cross the streams, as I often say, between work and personal life, but you know who you are. 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, family members are being added. We talk about elephants things are just, the dialogue is amazing. You are a priceless group, all of you. If you're listening tonight, thank you so very much. Cheers to you. You warm my heart every day. Just in the work that we have to accomplish on behalf of our common customer, but in and around the conversation that we have about the show and other things, certainly. As you know, we've been having a lot of dinner parties, and I gotta say to the folks, and that's why the show is late tonight, and had another one this evening, and we did something a little different. Instead of just having a housewarming, having individual little dinner parties with friends and colleagues and the like. Thank you so very much. It was funny. Someone asked this evening, which one's been the best one? Which group? And all 3 of us immediately said, they're all just amazing to sit down and break bread with and have conversation and smile and cry and laugh and drink and break corkscrews. Yeah, so think about that one. Thank you so very much. Finally, and I'm sure I missed someone, they do this at the Oscars, to my girls, my beautiful, beautiful girls. Thank you for the hall pass, the chance to be crazy, the chance to say things that are awkward, painful, childish, endearing, and probably an affront to humanity. Thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you for number 51 on Monday, because I'll be here.
Well, kids, you know who this is. It's ARP, damn it. You have been listening to the ArpCast, a sensational, fact-filled experience meant to change the world. I'm happy you stopped by. Our sponsors, those greedy, wily bastards, thank you too. Make sure to write, this has been the ArpCast. I'm out.